Welcome back to my channel, y'all. Today I'm getting started on the Honda CB900 Custom. What I'm fixing to do is see if I can't loosen up them front calipers. I got a feeling that it might be a problem in the brake line or something. I don't know. I'll be finding that out here shortly. Matter of fact, there was something else that I was going to point out to y'all also. Let me get the flashlight right quickly. And this is terrible news right here, but it's to be expected. The other day when I was looking at this, I was thinking, when this right here was down on there, anyway, long story short, what is going on right here? Now the bleeder is broke off. I want to see about if I can get that out. But do y'all see that liquid right there? That's brake fluid, y'all. So what it is, I'm going to end up having to change this line. Been looking for some. But yeah, even this brake line is the original brake line. I don't know if y'all can see that right there. Let me get the light, because every time I notice when I looked in the videos, anytime I put the light to it, it shows up on the camera and you can't see nothing that I'm talking about. But it's a DOT NCRR, and the date is 11/79 1/8 inch brake hose. And you know, I was trying to measure it and all. What I'm gonna end up having to do is get another brake line, I know for a fact, on that side. And if I get one brake line, I might as well go ahead and replace all three of these brake lines. The brake lines from here to here, from here to here, and this other line, which is the one that is leaking right there. Oh well, it is what it is, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But main thing is, I got to see if I can save these calipers, because there is no new ones to be found. And rebuilt calipers or reconditioned calipers, I'll be honest with you, I'm leery about that, because I have used some rebuilt calipers in the past on some vehicles, and come to find out they were no better than the old ones that was leaking. In other words, the new ones or the rebuilt ones ended up leaking just like the old one that was on the vehicle. All right, with that said, let me get started, see what I can find out about this. I done put some brake fluid in it, and it calls for .3 instead of .4, .3. And that's the reason why I got my piece of the towel up here, just in case, because I did not want to drip no antifreeze brake fluid on the gas tank. But I want to show y'all right quick like what's going on, because anytime you mash that brake, it locks the front end down, and it's just about to where you can't move it. You hear that? It definitely locks down. It is definitely, it's got to do some front brake work. That's all there is to it. Okay, well, let me get started. Okay, all right, on this caliper here, I think I got it freed up pretty good. If you'll look real close as this piston is coming out, you'll see it back up just ever so slightly. I just wanted to see, hopefully I got the camera at the right angle. All right. See how it backs up right there? Even though I'm still bringing it out. Every time I let off the brake lever, it goes back in. Now on this piston, yeah, you see how it's backing up right there? It's still going out, but it's also backing up every time I release the lever. So that tells me I got this side freed up. Also, the seal is all two pieces on it. All right, and because of that being all the pieces, let's see, there's a couple of spots that is in here. Let me get this pushed out. Okay, right there. Right there. You see that spot right there? And there's two other little spots right there. That is where moisture got in there and pitted it. And that was one reason why it was causing a sticking. It was sticking. Now what I also done, I rotated that piston. All right, on this piston, you ain't got to worry about messing up this end, because this is going to be, you know, the end that's exposed, and that inside that seal is going to slide into that. But I'm going to end up having to get another seal, y'all, for this piston. Took a little WD-40. I was going to use some PB Blaster, but guess what? It don't spray. There's some in it, but it don't spray. That figures. It's just my luck. But what I've been doing is, well, y'all seeing on the camera, little WD-40. Let it go around in there. Take my pliers. Rotate it. And to begin with, when I first started, it did not want to move. But now, oop. Alright, but anyway, I just wanted to show that to y'all. When you know that the piston is not sticking no more, is when you see that piston comes out some and backs up just ever so slightly. Let's see, let me see if I can mash it one more time. You see how that's backing up just a little? It's backing up in there like it's supposed to. But it's still pretty hard to push back in. But that's okay. As long as it's backing up some, that's a good sign right there. Now, I'm gonna have to wait to get a seal for it. I really need it needs a new piston. Because that could cause problems later on. But I just wanted to point that out to y'all about them rust spots and how to know if your caliper is working right. Because when you mash it out, you should see it back up just ever so slightly, just a few thousandths. You just watch it real close and you'll see it back up. Now, another thing too is don't put too much fluid in there, because if you do, you'll end up pushing that piston completely out. Next thing you know, you got brake fluid everywhere. So be careful. Don't overextend that piston, you know, pushing it out, unless you're going to rebuild it. And I might end up looking into getting a rebuild kit for it with a new piston and all, because of them spots right there. I'm kind of concerned about that, because probably in, you know, a couple of years it might be sticking again. Then again, who knows? It depends on if it gets a lot of moisture, water, stuff like that trapped up in there. But with, you know, a new seal on the outside, I think it might be okay. All right, well, let me get this thing kind of halfway pushed back in and all, and I'll be right back. what I have done, I have put the caliper back on and everything. It was pushing out and backing off just a little. Pushing out, backing off just a little. I worked with it a little bit. Got it working. Matter of fact, this side seemed to be better than what that other side was. But I also noticed I had trapped air in this side. So how I got that air out, even though the bleeder is broke, what I done, I turned the caliper in such a way that where the fluid comes in at, that was straight up. And I was working it with the C-clamp, pushing it back in, and I could hear a little bit of air. Matter of fact, let's see, it was 3 times I heard sound like a sloshing sound. And that was the air being pushed back up to the master cylinder up there. Now, when I master brakes, it still got some drag to it. But right now, after it's set for a little bit, there's no drag on it. And I just can't help but feel like inside these lines is collapsing. That's what I feel like is going on. It's still, you know, when you get through mashing the brakes, it's still kind of hard to push, but it's not as hard as it was. So the calipers was sticking. I got them freed up to where they're not sticking, and I feel like it's going to be the other side where them 3 little rust pits was. I feel like that was what was keeping it stuck. Now on this side, I had to pull, when I pulled the piece off, excuse me, there was no snap ring on the outside, but this inside was sealed. But if you'll notice, right there's a hole. So I said, well, I'll just pull that off and leave it off, because there ain't no need in it being on there. What I'm going to do is get some new ones of them. I might end up going ahead and ordering a rebuild kit for these calipers on the front. I checked the rear, and it seems to be releasing like it's supposed to. But at the same time, I want y'all to look at here. This bleeder screw is broke off. It's broke. Ain't that something? In other words, this side, both of the bleeder screws that broke off on this side. The other side's got a bleeder screw on it. And I was sitting here listening to the running of it. I cranked it up. I'm going to end up having to get another drive in here because it was slipping. And anyway, I was sitting here listening to it, and I was noticing there was a little bit of a popping sound. Anyway, I got to looking, and that shield that goes right here is not on here. Or there's a bolt. There's where a bolt goes. And I think well, let's see, it's warm right now. I don't feel no slot in it. Anyway, I was thinking about putting a hose clamp on it. Find me a small hose clamp, put that on it, and see if I can't quieten some of that popping sound down. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but let me crank it up. Let's see. All right. Okay, now that don't make sense at all. It was cranking just fine. Huh. Well, doggone it. Well, okay. I know what I end up having to do is put the charger on it. Doggone it. Feel like I get something kind of accomplished on one end of it and something else happens to it. Oh well. Okay. Well, anyway, folks, I reckon I'll do it for this video. One thing leads to another. Oh well. All right. Well, thank you for watching.